Itigil ang biding-bidingan sa pamamagitan ng pag-rebid ng DPWH ng mga proyekto hindi sapat ang ibinaba ng presyo sa bidding. Nasa kapangyarihan din ng Kongreso na i-audit ang resulta ng mga bidding sa DPWH at gampanan ang ating oversight function. At ako po ay nagvo-volunteer sa Committee on Public Works para tumulong sa oversight function ng Kongreso sa lahat ng mga bidding ng DPWH sa buong bansa upang matiyak natin na walang pera ng taong bayan ang mawawala sa lutong bidding o bidding-biddingan sa DPWH. Madam Speaker, ako po ay tumatayo upang maglahad ng isang solusyon sa overpricing ng mga proyekto ng DPWH. Itigil ang biding-bidingan sa pamamagitan ng pag-rebid ng DPWH ng mga proyekto hindi sapat ang ibinaba ng presyo sa bidding. Mula pa noong Setyembre, nanawagan po ako sa DPWH na i-recompute at pababain ang mga presyo ng kanilang mga proyekto sa budget. Isa ito sa mga rekomendasyon na ibinigay sa akin ni dating DPWH Secretary Babe Singson na noong panahon ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Benigno Aquino ay nagpatupad ng across-the-board 10% cut sa presyo ng mga proyekto ng DPWH. Ang isa pa niyang solusyon, ang pag-rebid ng mga proyekto kung saan ang resulta ng bidding ay hindi man lang 10% na mas mababa kaysa sa approved budget for the contract o ABC. Ang dahilan ng overpricing sa mga proyekto ng DPWH ay ang lutuan ng mga bidding. Sa Batangas, ang tawag dito ay bidding-biddingan. Ayon sa lahat ng aking mga nakausap tungkol dito sa unang distrito ng Batangas, halos lahat ng mga proyekto ng DPWH ay bidding-biddingan. Hindi tunay ang mga bidding ng mga proyekto ng DPWH. Naranasan ko ito mismo dahil nung ako po ay bagong halal, kinausap ako ng aking district engineer at ipinakita niya sa akin ang listahan ng mga proyektong for bidding sa aking distrito na may nakasulat na mga pangalan ng mga politikong nagpapondo ng mga proyektong ito at mga kontraktor na kanilang pinili. Ang dokumentong ito ay maaari kong isumite sa Kongreso at maaaring maging bahagi ng isang inquiry ng Committee of Public Works and Highways. Ito ay tugma sa naging testimonya naman ni dating Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo na nagsabing halos 100% ng bidding sa DPWH ay luto at mga nananalong kontraktor ay pinipili kasama ng mga natatalong mga bidder. Maging ang ombudsman ay nagpahayag na sila ay nag-iimbestiga sa practice kung saan ang mga losing bidders ay umano'y binabayaran ng humugit kumulang 3% na bahagi ng DPWH contractors sa mga kontrata na tawag sa Batangas ay mananahod. Naging posible ang ganitong sistema dahil kailangan ma-pre-qualify ang mga bidder ng district or regional office ng DPWH at maaaring humanap ang DPWH ng butas sa napakaraming mga dokumento upang i-disqualify ang isang bidder. At kahit manalo pa isang kontraktor, maaari pa rin silang pahirapan sa implementasyon ng proyekto o sa paniningil sa bayad nito. Kaya dahil dito, alam ng ibang mga kontraktor na wala silang pag-asang manalo kung hindi sila ang piniling manalo at madalas ay hindi na lang sila bumibili ng bidding documents. Maraming mga posibleng solusyon upang tuluyang wakasan ang bid rigging sa DPWH. Isa rito ang reforma sa bidding process kung saan unang isusumite ng mga bidder ang kanilang presyo at saka na lang gagawin ang post-qualification. Sa ganitong paraan, kahit ma-disqualify ang isang bidder, makikita pa rin kung gaano kababa ang kanilang bid na maaaring maging batayan kung nararapat na suriin o ulitin ang resulta ng bidding. Isa pang solusyon batay sa testimonya ni dating Undersecretary Bernardo ay ang pag-auction ng mga proyekto upang maiwasan ang sabwatan o collusion ng mga kontraktor at mapilitan silang magbigay ng pababa na presyo. Sa gitna ng lahat ng pagsisikap na pababain ang presyo ng mga proyekto ng DPWH, at kung isaalang-alang na kumulang 600 billion ang halaga ng mga proyekto na ibibid ng DPWH sa 2026, umaasa po ako na sa susunod na pagdinig ng Committee on Public Works ay matalakay natin ang iba't ibang solusyon upang wakasan ang bid rigging sa DPWH. Kasabay rito, umaasa rin ako na gagawin ni DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon ang ginawa noon ni Secretary Babe Singson na ipa-rebid ang mga bidding na hindi sapat ang ibinabang presyo mula sa approved budget for contract o ABC. Sa pribadong sektor, kung ano ang ABC mo, hindi ibig sabihin yan ang gagastusin mo. Kung 600 man ang ABC, kung pakiramdam mo ay hindi ka nakakakuha ng tamang presyo, i-rebid mo ang proyekto. Kung sariling pera mo naman ito, makikipagtawaran ka pa para makakuha ng 30% na mas mababa o 420 sa 600 pesos o kahit 10% na mas mababa pa o 540 sa 600 pesos. Kaya ang punto ko, kaya ko nais na ibahagi itong solusyon ngayong araw na ito. Nasa kapangyarihan ng Secretary ng DPWH ang mag-rebid ng mga proyektong hindi sapat ang ibinabang presyo mula sa approved budget for contract o ABC. Nasa kapangyarihan din ng Kongreso na i-audit ang resulta ng mga bidding sa DPWH at gampanan ang ating oversight function. At ako po ay nagvo-volunteer sa Committee on Public Works para tumulong sa oversight function ng Kongreso sa lahat ng mga bidding ng DPWH sa buong bansa upang matiyak natin na walang pera ng taong bayan ang mawawala sa lutong bidding o bidding-biddingan sa DPWH. Maraming salamat po.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to refer the speech of Representative Leviste to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Any objection? Hearing none, the speech of the Honorable Leviste is referred to the Committee on Rules.
If Secretary Dizon will lower prices by 25%, I don't even need to ask if he has any interest in DPWH contracts, because anyone who will lower prices by 25% is showing that he is against kickbacks. So I hope that Secretary Dizon will be a hero and lower prices by 25% and show that he is against kickbacks in DPWH. My other point a while ago is that there's also more information that he can share, and I already said that earlier. And again, I hope that, number one, the past budgets per district be disclosed, and the 2026 budget per district can be disclosed, so that we can see what districts have not gotten their fair share of the budget. And again, a while ago, the video showed that Secretary Dizon said wala po silang alam na meron ganong mga proyekto na insertions of senators or other politicians. And it is an open secret that politicians do give lists again, I would want more projects in my district, as would any congressman, not for a personal benefit, but for the district's benefit. And I think that it would be good to be transparent then, because if I were granted my request, it would be for additional classrooms. But if there are requests before for flood control projects, and then asphalt overlay, or overpriced solar streetlights, let's just be transparent on what people have requested that has been granted in the budget. Because again, Secretary Bonoan admitted that there is a leadership fund. To add, out of the 600 billion pesos DPWH budget, there's allocable and non-allocable. And if I'm not mistaken, there's around 400 billion of allocable. So there might be close to 200 billion of non-allocable, which the district representatives might not know who is behind. So let's see what this non-allocable is. And that, again, there's even some data that I have here. There's other data that others also have. Much of this can also be pieced together from other publicly available sources, and there's really no reason for this not to be disclosed, because others anyway have it. I just hope that Secretary Dizon be the one to share it, and preferably before the Monday Senate budget hearing. And just to make another point, Congressman Toby Chanco also recently asked the Committee on Appropriations to disclose the projects submitted by congressmen to the House APRO Committee. I highly respect Congressman Chanco, and he is really the source for much of what the public knows about congressional insertions in the DPWH budget. And what I'm adding is that the insertions begin in DPWH, but to Congressman Chanco's point, every congressman has been given a baseline amount of insertions, or we now call them amendments, of 150 million pesos. This is an amendment. There's nothing irregular about it, and this is part of the job of members of Congress to identify needed projects. So there is a 150 million peso per congressman amendment into the DPWH budget. And some have been given more and some much more. And Congressman Chanco's point is that the Appropriations Committee has the list of what each member of Congress has submitted and has been granted, including of Congressman Chanco says party list representatives. So if you can see what a district representative has in his district, you can also see what a representative that it goes beyond the district has submitted. And there's certain cases where these representatives have large budgets, which are worth looking into, and in some cases where they also have ties to the contractors that end up getting awarded these projects. If I can just share the following that affects my district. Certain contractors have allegedly cornered large allocations in the DPWH budget, and if a district representative does not allow rigged biddings and does not accept kickbacks, then these budgets might be allocated to other districts. And again, if DPWH shares the data on who are all these proponents, then I hope that would help also clamp down on the potential issues in this system, and that we don't have contractors paying for budgets to be allocated to certain districts. If I could give an example, CWS party list representative Edwin Garjola is said to be able to allocate large budgets for roads of DPWH, especially in Batangas. I have information that Congressman Garjola is the proponent for road projects in my district in some way. And a company owned by his family, based on SEC corporate documents, S-Ang Construction, is the contractor for some of these projects, which can be linked to him as CWS party list representative. And another company that he is connected to, Redicon Trading, is the contractor for other projects that people, including DPWH, have told me were amendments into the budget facilitated by Congressman Garjola. He has been said by others here in Congress to me as being a big buyer of project budgets and was also very close to Secretary Bonoan. Some of these road projects in my district are, according to technical audits, substandard, and the Sangguniang Bayan of Tuy, Batangas even complained that the road that he is building was asphalt, whereas because it is a flood-prone area, it should be concrete. But the DPWH told me that Congressman Garjola was the proponent for this project and specified the program of works that this project be asphalt. I was told by other technical experts because that would make it more lucrative. And that DPWH can disclose this data so we can see the link between the proponent and the contractor. Some of these projects might no longer be under the name of the proponent, but it would be a good start to just release the available data on who is the proponent behind the projects that are alleged to have been amended into the budget by Congressman Garjola. And again, this is a current subject. One, the 2025 projects are still being implemented. And if we have found out that they were amended by a certain congressman who has also links to the contractor that DPWH awarded to, I think that would be worth someone looking into. And second, that Congressman Garjola continues to have influence over the DPWH budget as the representative of CWS party list, with many connections that pertain to the DPWH budget. Again, I would like to repeat that based on the flood control hearings, the non-allocable budget under the leadership fund that were reportedly sold should be looked into, and that it's around this time that the House General Appropriations Bill has been approved, that advance payments for projects are paid. It's very important that we get to the bottom of who is proposing these projects that have been accepted into the recently approved budget, so that we can trace, just like in the example of Congressman Garjola, if they are connected to the contractors that are eventually awarded these projects. Again, given prices have not yet been lowered on DPWH projects, one can surmise that the system of paying kickbacks continues in DPWH, and that now that the HGAB has been approved by Congress, ang bigayan ng mga kickbacks ay nagsimula na, o nagawa na, o tutuloy na. And that including those that would be paid to the DPWH officials who inserted projects into the NEP, which is why we're advocating that we revise the NEP that was submitted, because these still have projects that were inserted from the time when at least it has been testified that this practice was being done. And with prices this high, it's already been factored in. I think that there is room to give kickbacks, as I've already previously said, and at least in my district, I have asked the Committee on Appropriations to lower the price of the DPWH projects. Kung meron po akong sabihin mong 1.6 billion pesos in DPWH projects sa aking distrito, pwede akong makakuha nang sabihin niyo po 15% out of a total 25% of kickbacks. So sabihin niyo po sa 1.6 billion of DPWH budget for 1st District Batangas, there's a potential 400 million pesos in kickbacks. And dahil hindi ko kukunin yun, hiningi ko sa Committee on APRO na ibaba na lang yung mga presyo, yung 1.6 going 1.2, or actually yung road projects na 1B going 700M na lang, so that the savings can be used for other projects in my district. But again, unfortunately, my district has been affected in terms of budgetary allocation because some of these big buyers of budgets, as reported, won't put projects in my district because they know that in my district engineering office, bawal ang pagluluto ng bidding at bawal ang kickback. Kaya siguro ang incentive ay ilagay na lang sa distrito kung saan may rigging of bidding at may kickback. Pero sa akin po, meron po akong naranasan na may mga lumapit at alam ko na may mga tao, kasama ang mga nabanggit ko kanina, na may hawak na malaking pondo at kung gusto ko sana mapalaki ang budget ng aking distrito, pumayag na lang ako sana na iluto nila ang biddings sa aking distrito, ka-kickback sila, pero magkaroon naman ng project ang aking distrito. Kung sinabi naman sa mga Senate hearings, 35 to 50% of contract price goes to a project, at least nakatulong sa aking distrito. Pero ako, hindi sang-ayon sa practice na ito, pero ang unfortunate consequence is yung mga distrito kung saan walang kickback, nababawasan ng budget based on the incentives of the system.